definitely. I mean, this is a very cool fight. That maybe a lot of people, if you don't know on the surface, it's a great fight. But a little digging a little deeper into it, you mentioned that Chuck is a former CES champion. He's actually a former Cage Titans champion. He was the first ever man to hold the Cage Titans title. Back in 2010, he fought on Cage Titans 1. And at the time, he took on an undefeated kid in Anthony Caponis. He beat Anthony Caponis, won the Cage Titans title. Right after that, left to appear on the Ultimate Fighter TV show. And he went on his Ultimate Fighter TV show success and fighting on in the UFC, before going back regionally and fighting for CES. So he actually held our 170-pound title. And then the only man to ever hold it after him is currently Wilfredo Santiago. Will never fought Chuck because after Chuck went on to the UFC and the Ultimate Fighter, when he came back regionally, he started competing for CES. So Will never fought him before, even though he's that same title holder. So that's kind of a cool backstory a little bit. But this fight came about pretty simply. We were looking to match Will Santiago because, again, we wanted to provide the best that Cage Titans had to offer to compete on this CES Cage Titans card on Axis. They came to us and were looking to have Chuck headline. We were looking at a couple of different opponents. Chuck went up to middleweight, so that's why originally we didn't think Will Santiago versus Chuck. We were going to find an opponent for Will at 170, and we were going to look for an opponent for Chuck at 185, because Chuck does not live far, or he's originally from, a couple minutes away from Memorial Hall, so this was kind of a homecoming fight for him, and that he was going to be a perfect headliner. So we had two names for Chuck. I had an offer out to Will for a fight at 170. The day he called me to tell me if he wanted to take it or not, me and Pat Sullivan were talking, and we kind of kicked the idea around about Chuck. And we said, I don't think Will will take it because he mentioned not wanting to go to 185. I said, you know what? For shits and giggles, let's throw it at him. Will called me. He sends me a text message. I got great news. So I'm assuming he's going to accept the fight that I originally gave him. He calls me. I go, before you go any further, I got a unique opportunity that just popped up today. I go, how would you like to headline the card for Chuck O'Neal at 185? Hey, oh, man, Mike, you're kidding me. Of course, I'd love to do that. He knew Chuck, so he talked to his coaches, and that's it. Boom. I mean, he said he's all in. He thought it was a great opportunity to headline a TV card, against a guy like Chuck O'Neal, who has a name for being one of the best in the region, who's been to the Ultimate Fighter, who's been in the UFC, and Will jumped at the opportunity as did Chuck. So this is a fun fight.
Follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Visit us on Twitter. And stay tuned.